says low power again. Oh, now it's showing that it's weighted. Ow. Should have charged it up a little bit more anyway. Well, I did. Lost the thing. I think I'll just do a little filming while I'm doing a little walking. You know, always like a lot of sound on these things because I put it in there. There's the other one that's got like gaps where you can get sound in there. But anyway. I'm just basically waiting for like 3 o'clock so I can like move the car. And so that's what I'm doing. Oh, got the radio on.
I'm fine. Just a little paralysis. State Farm, here to help fight go right. Call an agent today. Nissan of Portland, your Eastside dealership is paying top dollar for your trade-in.
Okay.
Isn't it about time you drove a car that represents your style with payments that fit your budget? Visit NissanofPortland.com today and see how much your trade-in is worth. Now serving Gresham.
Every day, thousands of children have a safe and fun place to go when out of school, thanks to the Boys and Girls Clubs in Portland. This fall, the newest club opens in Rockaway.
It's probably heard well enough, even if I keep it here. Let's see.
Visit bgcportland.org. Voice Radio.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it out, I suppose, until I start doing the paper course.
I'm going to predict right now there will be more people at the second game at StubHub than there were for the first. I really don't have a reason. Although this week, my radio partner, Costa, down there at Section 1360 Fox Sports San Diego, we went to the Padres-Phillies game on Tuesday night. So the worst team in baseball, the Phillies, against...
Well, I'm thinking like some of the Los Angeles stuff they're talking about too is like we'd need to go there and do things that are controversial. I don't know, controversial, but you know, I was thinking though I could do like a live thing with the you know, with the thing like on the chest and have like CNN play or something like that. I had thought I could do like you know, some kind of like silly dance routine. Now you could say I don't dance, but that'd be like all the more funnier thing about it. But that'd be like one of the things I could like do. And I could film it, and I could play, you know, have like CNN Live at the same time or something like that, you know, and it's just, you know, just me being silly, have a crowd of people about, and just kind of go from there. Well, let's do something like that now, I suppose. I don't know. I really want to get to Los Angeles. I know it's got to be like a different culture, a whole different kind of thing. I don't know what time it is. I'll probably just walk and talk like this till I get right up over there, and then I'll put it on my chest and then film all these people or something while I'm doing some stuff, and then it'll have something to, I gotta like upload this stuff on YouTube. I got some other videos to do too. Okay. Gosh, everybody's going crazy. Okay. You're not filming, are you?
guys. Thanks for
This is so easy. What the hell's the matter with whatever? Well, you gotta film, and then we gotta look, and then we gotta consider, and then we'll think about it, and then maybe it'll be.
It is an interception. But I mean, what I'm saying is, I remember when we played, and look.
It's like the Epic News story, though. It's just like, there's money in this, isn't there? And that's what you're after. If you do things that are easy and obvious, this thing would be over with quick, and then you wouldn't have a job, you wouldn't be making the money. Of course, you could guarantee your safety later, but that's not really what you're thinking about right now. Right now, you're thinking about the money. In the future, we're not going to be running on money. It's going to be like property. And before that, it's going to be like who gets to live and who's going to have to like die. That's what I decide. And I can make things nice for you, and you can do things one way, and you can do things the other. But you don't do those things. You decided not to do it that way. This is so easy. How are you going to explain to people in 2017 that you can figure something out that you should be able to figure out within minutes, perhaps an hour, I don't know, maybe a whole week? How are you going to explain this to people? What are you going to say? What? And then I'll write stuff against independent investigators, and then you'll probably get insulted. But I'm writing between the lines. I'm saying, this company and that company and these people and that people. And I'm like, those people and those companies, those people that I talk about, this, that, and the other stuff, I'll be asking you, what are you doing about it? Well, I can't. And it's like this, that, and the other stuff. I'm just like, okay, that's fine. In a sense, that you should be able to explain it to the rest of the world, and it'll have to be done in such a way that it's going to have to make sense. It's got to make sense. Now, it's something I can help you with if you do things in a logical fashion. It really is like the Seinfeld thing where, like, the accountant, Elaine's like boss while the boss is off going crazy, and it's just like, and then he's got to have the accountant shows up, and he's got to have a full-on accountant of all this, that, and the other stuff, the episode with the hat. When I am as the accountant, I'm going to be like, we're going to pour through this one of these days. I'm going to say, what did you do on this day and that day? What did you do that year and that year to justify your existence? Who did you talk to? What are you talking to? What are you doing? Is it really, really that obvious? And in 1985, you can't get this right. Or you were told this, that, and the other thing. What? Who? Who are you talking to? You got to talk with me. Well, we were told you were dead and you look different. It's called surgery. This is what they do whenever I get my teeth work done. They make my jaw a little bit bigger every time. Well, how can we tell? It's called exploratory surgery. It's called this, that, and the other stuff. You could go to the hospital and have this checked out. My fingerprints. You could go to a police station and have this professionally done. I put my fingerprints all over stickers that I put all over town. This was stuff I was doing like a year ago. I was putting out notes and things like that all over Northwest Portland. I was doing this like well over a year ago. I was doing like, not last spring, but the spring before that. We're getting in like a year and a half. What it was, like I do this, this I do, and you're like all of a sudden now you're embarrassed to the point where you may actually have to like do something because you realize your job is on the line. It's like your life is on the line. It always has been. That's how you have to think about these things. You can't really think any other way. If you think, I'm worried about losing my job, and I'm like, you have to later worry about losing your life. You have to give me something. It has to make sense. I have to go to all the survivors. I'm like, this is why there was a delay. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? If I can't say that, then you're kind of on your own, aren't you? You say, well, you get rid of us and disrespect us and all that. Who's going to investigate? I'm like, there'll be a power vacuum. Someone else will come in and do it. Besides, my friends know who I am. I'm doing this kind of stuff. They'll be like, oh, that's nice. And just in case they're not entirely sure, I can do a whole heck of a lot of other stuff. Absolutely ridiculous. And there's a lot of people that won't say so that see how silly all of you are. you know, this doesn't work out, I'm going to have to kill myself, as long as there's no pressure. This is suicide, what you're doing. You know, to work with such restrictive rules, whatever they may be, and to actually make a living off of this thing. And demand that there's some kind of respect that you should have. You know. Be reading that more later. You're probably making a lot of money off of this thing, and that's what you were concerned about. But this is like, you know, it's got to be more than that, though. You know, you got to have something for like the future. When this is all over, we're not going to be run by money, and we'll have everything automated, and it'll be about property. Who has property? Who's going to give you that property? The one person that it's all about. You say, well, we already got that kind of sort of figured. Well, then what are you investigating? I mean, you must have had some sort of doubts. But why would you do so by such restrictive rules? Because then it would take decades for us to figure out anything, if we ever figure out anything at all. Okay, all right, that's what you want to go with. You know, I'm right here. There's a body in here. There's stuff you could look at. Okay, this I gotta turn off.